Hey folks, how's it going? We're checking out more Blackadder. Hopefully you guys are having a fantastic day. I appreciate all you guys leaving me comments, giving me more information about the show and the messages as well. It definitely helps a lot. And like I said, I really enjoyed the first episode the most. The second episode was decent. A lot of funny moments peppered in. And I've been told the beer episode is really good. I think that's episode 5 of this season. And like all shows, you guys say it gets better and better and better. So I'm looking forward to watching more of the show. And as you see, I stuck around to the end in the last episode and listened to the song. I'm going to make sure I do the same thing in this one so I can listen to the lyrics. You guys said it changes in every episode, so that's cool. And I guess that's it, man. Let's just go and jump into it, folks. We'll talk about it more in the end.
Coming?
Nope.
Oh, my lord, you are cruel. You know perfectly well that Mrs. Miggins is bedridden from the nose down. And besides, she is honouring the occasion in her own special way by baking a great commemorative pie in the shape of an enormous pie. There's a man being indecently assaulted by 9 foreign sailors, and he's still got a smile on his face.
Look, Percy, the return of Sir Walter, ooh, what a big ship I've got, Raleigh, is a matter of supreme indifference that his tongue can cope with. He's making a fortune out of the things. People are smoking them, building houses out of them. They'll be eating them next.
Stranger things have happened.
Well, exactly.
That horse becoming Pope.
For one.
Oh, dude.
And another thing, why aren't you at school?
So bogus.
Blackadder started talking to yourself.
Dressing up like half an allotment in Nottingham Forest.
There you go, Marlow.
Thank you.
You have.
It's probably just as well you're not coming, Blackadder. You're not very popular at court.
Perchance he has hauled anchor and sailed away.
No, it was me.
Majesty. Surely not.
You utter creep.
Blackadder's a frightful old lubber, eh, Melchi?
And indubitably no sea dog, man. With a yo-ho-ho, and perhaps I might venture a bottle of rum into the bargain.
It's him. Oh, God, I'm thinking of marrying him.
Ma'am, is that not a little rash?
I don't think so.
It wouldn't be your first little rash if it was.
And dominions beyond her wildest dreams.
Are you sure? Well, I have some pretty wild dreams, you know. And I'm not sure what they mean, but the other day there was this enormous tree, and I was sitting right on top of it.
Death. And no sailor has crossed it alive.
Well, what an extraordinary coincidence.
What's an extraordinary coincidence?
You know, it's just that I was planning a jaunt around the Cape of Good Hope myself. Or perhaps a mind that knows no fear.
Is that true, Edmund? Do you know no fear?
Well, yes, I do rather laugh in the face of fear, tweak the nose of terror.
Gosh, Edmund, I've forgotten how dishy you are.
You'd never dare.
Yeah,
Must
sure.
remember to pack the larger of my 2 shrimping nets.
Edmund, you're completely wonderful. If you do this, I'll probably marry you.
Oh, my God.
Oh, yes? And who'll be your captain? To my mind, there's only one seafarer with few enough marbles to attempt that journey.
Ah, yes, and who's that?
Why, Rum, of course. Captain Redbeard Rum.
Well done. Hi, you and your
Dead
ship.
parrot.
Can we shake on it?
Ah! You have a woman's hand, my lord. I wager these dainty pinkies never weighed anchor in a storm.
Well, you're right there. Have to eat your ship as well as hire it. And since you're clearly as mad as a mongoose, I'll bid you farewell.
Damn courtiers to the queen, you're nothing but lapdogs to a slip of a girl.
Better a lapdog to a slip of a girl than a...
Oh, you have a woman! I'll wager those are legs that have never been sliced clean off by a falling sail and swept into the sea before your very eye.
Well, neither of yours.
That's
Right.
where you're wrong.
Oh, shit.
God.
No point in changing your mind now. No one else will count. The whole thing's suicide.
Oh, my
anyway.
God.
What's the first mate's name?
Percy.
A nautical cove?
Yes.
And tweak the nose of the dreadful spindly killerfish. I'm not one of your milksops who's scared out of his mind by the mere sight of water. Oh, Baldric, you can't think of a plan to get me out of this, can you?
You could hide, my lord.
Hide? Brilliant. Where?
Don't say the trunk.
In the box.
How'd you forget that quick?
Yes, my lord, he's hiding in the box.
Come on, jelly brain. Hurry up, otherwise my journey I could believe that occasionally you did spare me a thought and perhaps go gooey again. I would deem my certain death a minor inconvenience.
Ned. I've written a poem. And the ducks go quack. When the sky is blue and the cows go moo. Think of lovely Queenie. She'll be thinking of you.
Oh, since you could say nothing but Lizzie go plop, plop. Lizzie go.
Put a bang in it, Nancy. No, I'm sure that Melchi and Wally want to say something as well.
Oh, yes, indeed.
Farewell, Blackadder. The foremost cartographers of the land have prepared this for you. It's a map of the area that you'll be traversing. They'd be very grateful if you could just fill it in as you go along.
Lady, it is my captain. Long on beard, short on legs.
Oh, Captain, I wish you luck from the bottom of my heart.
You have a woman's bottom, my lady. I'll wager that sweet round pair of peaches has never been forced twixt two splintered planks to plug a leak and save a ship.
Certainly hasn't, and I'm quite pleased about it. Anyway, what's wrong with women's bottoms?
Not big enough, Mom. Imagine. But if you'll take me, I'm willing to be captain of your ship forever. What do you say?
No. Yes, please.
I'll be back. We'll all be back.
I shall do all I can. Farewell! And, don't wait up.
Gosh.
And not joining us in the ha-has, pussy?
No. I'm thinking of England and the girl I left behind me.
Oh, God.
Once, in a corridor.
I've never heard it called that before. Still, when you get home in 6 months, you'll be a hero. She might even let you get your hands on her twice.
I fear not.
Why not?
Because we'll never get
Right
home.
there. Carry on. Sorry.
Oh, we've got no hope. No hope of ever returning.
On the contrary, we are certain to return.
What?
Because, my old salts, we are not going to the Cape of Good Hope. Just camp down in the Dordogne for 6 months, get a good suntan, come home, pretend we've been round the Cape and get all the glory.
Hooray!
A masterly plan, me young master. And one that leads me to make an announcement myself.
What's that, Rum?
Truth is, I don't know the way to the Cape of Good Hope anyway.
So, you don't know the way to France, either?
No! I must confess that too.
Bugger.
These fools are dead.
He's only been gone 3 days and I'm missing him already.
Ah, well, maybe I could distract you with the tale of the time I fell into the water and was almost eaten by a hammerhead shark.
Yes, all right, try that one.
Well, Mom.
You better come up with some presents, or I'm going to go off explorers completely, you know.
Mom?
I want to tell you something else. Edmund was right. You do smell of fish. Hooray!
I was under the impression that it was common maritime practice for a ship to have a crew.
Opinion is divided on the subject.
Really?
Yes. All the other captains say it is. I say it isn't.
Oh, God, mad as a...
Nearing the urine drinking stage by now.
Don't be horrid, Melchi. Edmund would rather die.
I fear that may be wishful thinking, Majesty.
stagnant water 3 weeks ago. Oh, all right, come on, let's get on with it.
Should we drink each other's or stick to our own? sorry.
Is Captain Rum joining us for this bring a sample party, or is he going to spend?
Down the hatch.
They're gonna puke.
Ah! France at last!
They look much like Southampton to me, my lord. What? All those streams of molten lava and that steaming mangrove swamp. And that crowd of beckoning natives rubbing their tummies and pointing to a large pot.
Where are they now?
Well, madam, if they haven't been eaten by cannibals, they should be back any minute now.
Mom!
And you're alive.
Oh, yes.
And your silly friend.
He died a hero's death, giving his life that his friends might live.
And that his enemies might have something to go with their potatoes.
Look, I don't care. I'm horny.
Yes, your fiancé was only a third-rate sailor.
And if you haven't brought me any presents, I'm going to have you executed.
Mom?
I only let Riley off because he blubbed on his way to the block. Presents, please.
Ah, yes, Mum.
Is it a stick, Lord Blackadder?
Yes, Mum, but it is a very special stick, because when you throw it away, it comes back.
Oh, well, that's no good,
Well, there was very little time, what with picking the weevils out of biscuits
Yes,
and...
what did I do with that spare death warrant?
Well,
Oh, Edmund, it's wonderful. But what about Melchi and Raleigh? You must have brought something for them as well.
there was one thing, Mum.
Good.
A fine wine from the Far East. A most delicious beverage.
Gross.
Taste, boys. Tell us what you think.
Oh, it certainly has plenty of nose.
oh, yes, this is very familiar.
I'm sure you'll be glad to hear that there is an inexhaustible supply of it.
All right. So first thing I want to say is, people were telling me that they didn't enjoy the second episode. It wasn't one of their favorite episodes in the series. Episode 1's really strong. 2 is really weak, but from 3 going forward is really strong. Honestly, I enjoyed episode 2 more than I enjoyed this one. And I think part of it's my fault because I didn't understand, I didn't get the whole potato thing. Like, I didn't know potatoes were used for other stuff before they start being consumed, you know? So I'm assuming he's making a historical reference that's true, that potatoes had a different purpose before they were put on people's plates. And he said they're smoking with it, they're using it for building material. It might not have been that extreme and probably wasn't used for building. It could have been. Who knows? Maybe plugging holes or something. Doesn't seem to make sense. But because potatoes stink when they rot so much, so it doesn't really make sense. But I'm guessing there's something historical to it that's a joke that I'm missing, that people use potatoes for something else besides eating. So I missed that joke. And then the joke about you know how the queen kind of moves on from stuff pretty quick from what I've seen. She needs to be constantly entertained. She's like a child. And maybe there's some joke that I missed when it comes to her being obsessed with explorers, or people in general being obsessed with explorers. And when they come along, they bring some new shiny thing and everybody gets obsessed over it. And Blackadder just wants to be the anti-person for this because he doesn't really like it. But then he decides to go ahead and become this thing that he hates by going out there and faking it and coming back with stuff and just being celebrated as a hero just for the hell of it, even though he's against it. Maybe there's some joke in there that I was missing about explorers. People been jumping on on board to new trends really fast. Everybody's rocking a patch and stuff like that. The next thing you know, everybody's patch and stuff was gone and everybody was somewhat over it. And maybe people just move with the trend of the queen or whatever she's into. Everybody pretends to be into it. And don't get me wrong, there are funny moments when he shot the kid with the arrow, when he gave them piss and said it was wine. At the end, that was funny. Then a couple of funny moments with the rum beer guy. But other than that, I just feel maybe I just missed some of the jokes because it was historical stuff and I just didn't get the references to it. And that's on me. It's not really on the show. But I will still say I enjoyed the first and second episode more than this one. I expect to enjoy this one more than the first and second episode because I was told that the first episode are fairly weak compared to the rest. And from my point of view, from my perspective, this one was weak compared to those two. But yeah, I'm guessing he went to I'm guessing because they had a boomerang. The boomerang came from the Aboriginals in Australia, so they made it to Australia. That's what I'm guessing it is. Isn't that where the boomerang came from? I don't know. That could just because I've watched a bunch of shows as a kid, and they say that's where the boomerang comes from as a kid. But that could be not. That could not be historically accurate as well. So I could have missed that whole joke about like them bringing a boomerang and stuff back. But yeah, I think it's because some of the jokes like were historical. Maybe there's, like I said, maybe there's some joke tied to somebody accidentally going to Australia and being eaten or something, and I missed that too. So yeah, honestly think episode 1 and 2 were stronger than this one, but I was told episode 1 and 2 are weak compared to 3 going forward. So yeah, man, I guess we'll definitely see. I'm not saying I hated this episode. I just didn't laugh as much as I laughed at the other ones, and I didn't enjoy the plot as much. Like, what was going on, the little schemes and stuff weren't as entertaining as episode 1 and 2. And remember, just my opinion. I could be absolutely wrong compared to anybody else. Other people say, like, you would have got it if you knew these references, and you're probably absolutely right. All right, guys, that is it. That is all for this one. Hopefully, you guys are happy, safe, and healthy. I'll see you in the next one. Later.